Hi, thanks for using Tessitura Pro. This is a quick guide to help you get started. The info panel displays important information about the loaded structure. It tells you the amount of modes, transpositions, notes, and also if the structure presents symmetry over transposition. It also shows you a simplified version of the structure for when you're in a portrait orientation. It also shows you the information card for the source scale if you are viewing a mode other than the source. So here's A Dorian. You can see it as a mode from the G Ionian. If you want to view all the modes at once, you can tap on the View All Modes button and then load any of them as the main structure. You may also tap on the source card to load the source. All the available triads and seventh chords for the structure are shown here. G sus2, G sus4, the G major triad, and the G major 7 all work well on the scale and vice versa. Use the Patterns panel to practice or get ideas for improvisation and composition using patterns over the current structure. These are skip-step patterns. You load or create a pattern and Tessitura Pro applies it to the current structure to create the exercise. Right now, the pattern is just a step-up pattern. So Tessitura takes the first note from the structure, which is G, and goes to the next note up in the scale. So you get an ascending scale. You can edit the pattern with this button. Use the X button to delete the last skip step, change the type of skip step with the slider, and add the selected skip step by tapping on it. So if I add this 2 up, I create a pattern that skips up. Then the result is the G Ionian ascending by thirds because we are skipping one note each time. If I put a 3 up, then we skip 2 notes and the pattern is an ascending fourths. You can add as many as you want. Let's add a down 2 or a skip down, and now we get the G scale in fourths ascending. Close the editing panel with the same button. Tessitura Pro comes loaded with plenty of pre-made patterns which you can access with the search button. So here's an ascending 3-note arpeggio for scales. Tap to load it. Go to the next key. Go to the next mode. With the lock on, you go to the next mode, keeping the source in its original key. With the lock off, you go to the next mode without changing the key. Add a descending chromatic approach note to the first note of every instance of the pattern, or an ascending approach. Enable this button to add an approach to every single note in the pattern. Add an inversion of the pattern at the end, or add a retrograde, or both. Play the pattern with a metronome count off. Adjust the tempo. Change the rhythmic pattern. Tap on the X to delete the last note in the rhythmic pattern. Tap on the note figures to add it. You can configure the pattern settings here. Limit the pattern to full range, only over 2 octaves or 1 octave. Set the next key to modulate by perfect fifths around the circle, counterclockwise or clockwise, chromatically up or down, or by major or minor thirds. Set the next mode to go around the circle or by mode number. You can also lock the modes and keys here. If the pattern is an ostinato, then set the amount of times you want to repeat it here. The substructure panel lets you find and study structures that are fully contained inside the current structure. That's it for this section. Find out more on the next video. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.